Hello, welcome to Sun, Moon, Star Tarot. My name is Gina. I want to thank you for tuning in today. These next 4 bell sounds are to align us and to bless this reading, as well as to thank your guides for allowing me to tap into your energy. Today is going to be a pick a card or pick a pile reading. First, we have Fading Quartz. This is a little slip. So duality, decisive, intuitive. Second, we have Atlantean Quartz. Star and Light Code, Spirit, Sacred Wisdom. And then we have Shamanic Dream Quartz. Healing, contemplative, and soothing. So whatever characteristics, traits jumped out most to you, just please pick a pile. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. So on the bottom of the deck, we do have the 8 of Wands, so that's things happening really fast. And then we also do have communication, so expect swift communication, whether this means with people in your outer world, with your guides, with your higher self. They're really communicating swiftly with you because we also do have intuition here. So it looks like you are tapping into your intuition. And devas are like nature spirits, so crystals and nature, so that's you getting out and exploring nature and becoming one with nature and allowing their essence to soak into you so you can embody what like trees embody, which are stillness and peace and serenity. And then we do have monk/nun here, selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. So right now, either you're being asked to not necessarily become a nun, obviously, but just kind of embody that like piousness that nuns and monks do. And then we do have doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. So if that continues to resonate with you, then please pick a pile. Again, we have Fading Quartz, and then we have Atlantean Quartz, and then we have Shamanic Dream Quartz. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so for those of y'all who chose the Fading Quartz, which embodies duality, decisiveness, and intuition or intuitive. This is going to be a reading, and it's going to be what do you need to balance and what are you manifesting, all right? And this is just the advice. So what needs to be balanced here? You have Queen of Wands, interesting. And then we have King of Swords, followed by Spring. You see how that's so bizarre, how like it's so like this is the quartz for duality, and holy shit, look at the duality that came out. We have the Queen of Wands, someone who is very passionate, inspired, intuitive, really tapped into her heart center, and she uses her ego to kind of like power her heart chakra or anahata. And we have that coming with Spring, so that's someone who is revitalized, someone who is just really like gung-ho. I'm just getting like someone who's like fist pumping and someone who is just very alive for spirit, you know. And then we have the King of Wands, someone who is very cold, someone who is very like not off, but reserved almost. And then we have Winter, and that's the time of things being like encapsulated in ice, basically. So it's like you are like 2 of your sides are really warring, so you need to bring these sides into balance. And these attributes look like addict, helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior, and child divine. Innocence, purity, redemption suggest a special connection to divine. I'm going to actually use the book to further get some insight on the addict card, because I usually have a really good like insight and that they don't put in the card for some reason. Not helps you recognize when any external force has more authority over your willpower than your inner spirit does. So it's interesting that the Queen of Wands represents your spirit, right? And then, so if there's anything that's causing you to like kind of stray away from spirit and question, okay, is this substance strong? Is something outside of myself hindering me from connecting with spirit? Is something outside of myself kind of like have more control over me than I have control over myself, really? So you're really being called to question what has control over your spirit. Is it something that's good or something that's bad? And then this child divine card, innocence, purity, and redemption, suggests a special connection with the divine. So you are someone who is very intuitive, and that's why you got this Queen of Wands here. But there's also a side to you to where you kind of like let yourself sink into a certain space that allows you to just be rigid and to not have that connection with the divine, basically. And so that is what Spirit is asking you to bring into balance at this time. Right? And so I'm going to leave these here. What are you manifesting? You have the Empress. Beautiful. So beautiful abundance is coming your way. And I believe this is after you balance these sides out to yourself. So just really ask yourself and be honest with yourself. No one's going to judge you. The only person that judges you is yourself. In this regard, because you don't have to tell anyone about your addictions or anything, you know? But you're being asked, okay, is this substance more important than my salvation? And salvation in quotation marks. That looks like your connection with Spirit, basically. And that is your salvation, really, because that's what saves you from this materialistic world around us. And when you do this, when you kind of allow yourself to take a step back and to really just come into alignment with what Spirit fully wants for you, then you realize that abundance flows to you no matter what you do. And then we have Ten of Pentacles. Beautiful. So 2 cards about abundance. And I've gotten this card a couple of times, and I was watching this video and a reader gave me a new insight to this card. She said that the Ten of Pentacles is beautiful, but it comes with responsibility. So make sure when you acquire this Ten of Pentacles, this abundance that you are seeking, because you will get this abundance that you are seeking, make sure that you have the tools to maintain the abundance. You have the tools to constantly improve and to become a King of Pentacles or the Queen of Pentacles. And then we have devotion. Beautiful. Back to this selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to Spirit. So right now, you are being asked to be devoted to your abundance. And your abundance is linked to your spirit. Your spirit is linked to the Queen of Wands. And that's clarifying also this position as well. And then we have bound. Okay, I mean, it's okay to be like bound to the material world by like substances, because I believe part of the journey is kind of like working through that. But just understand that if you don't clear up this energy now, you can still manifest through being addicted to like substances and whatnot. But how clean do you want your manifestation to be, basically? And then we do have commitment. So I think this is your commitment to the divine. And once you become committed to the divine, then other commitments kind of like fall into place. It's like once one puzzle piece starts fitting, then all the other puzzle pieces start fitting as well. And these are attributes that you're being called to cultivate. You have athlete here. Dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit. So Spirit is really calling you to lay down whatever you are bound to and to move past into like, I'm getting a strength card in my head to where it's like your physical self versus your spirit. And that's how you feel. It's like you feel like you're fighting your physical self versus your spirit. And that's okay. Just find solace in the balance, you know? Like if you can't completely cut out whatever you are addicted to, only do it half of the time. Only do it once a week instead of the whole week. Or just set limitations around yourself so you can break the bonds, basically. And then we do have bully. So perhaps you're needing to bully yourself into making this change. But it says highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps confront the inner fears that bully you. And I do think that is that duality that you are scared of. And again, that's okay. It's okay to be not okay with where you are at, but it's also okay not to wallow in it. It's also okay not to wallow in your addictions and the self-pity. And the addiction can also be a thought pattern. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that you are intaking into your body. But I'm getting more so that it is a substance at this point. And then overall advice, we have happiness. I'm aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. So if you are not happy doing what you're doing, that means you have to change it. If it brings you some happiness, like I said, just scale it down to where it's more like little increments, basically. And then we do have growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. So perhaps this, I don't want to say addiction, but perhaps whatever you are bound to is causing you to stunt your growth, and Spirit is coming in and saying to you that your soul always wants to expand. So just make sure that you are not being hindered by anything. And it's a change. I mean, Spirit can't be any clearer here. And personal power, personal willpower, I think. And this is a tiger, one of the most ferocious animals. So right now you are really being called to change. And this will require a lot of personal willpower. But I know that you have it in you. And I'm going to send a prayer to you right now. I'm going to just send this sound healing to you. And also light some sage for you as well. You are blessed and you are delivered from whatever is holding you back. Namaste. Alright, my pal twos. This is the Atlantean quartz and the attributes of star and light codes, spirits, and sacred wisdom. So we're going to go ahead and see what is needing to be balanced here and what are you manifesting at this time. Keep in mind the bottom of the deck is devotion. All about devotion to spirit and things happening in a speedy way. Alright, so what needs to be balanced? We have 5 of swords. And we have 7 of swords. A lot of swords. You may be an air sign watching this or have air prominent in your chart. Or have a lot of air surrounding you in your life. Air signs, I mean by that. Right now, you're being called to balance this inner conflict and this inner deceit that you are feeling. So do you feel like an imposter at times? Do you feel like that you are like trying to put on a mask and you don't really know who you are? And do you feel like that you are deceiving other people at this time? Do you feel at conflict with yourself in any way, intellectually? Or are you at conflict with anyone intellectually at this time? Then we do have destruction. Beautiful. And surrender. So I think you're needing to find the balance between destruction and surrender. And that looks like you trying to like, I heard the adage of the saying, doing the same things, expecting different results. So right now you are needing to destroy a thought pattern or a loop in your life that could just continues to constantly play of conflict and deception, conflict, deception, conflict, deception. Right now that cycle is ending for you. And it's ending because Spirit is stepping in and saying, no, this no longer works for you, basically. All right, and then it's 2 attributes that you are also shedding. Guide represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. And Avenger, desire to balance the scales of justice, righteous on the behalf of society or oneself. So I think right now, like, you aren't going about a situation in the correct way. I think you aren't really tapped into your guidance. And so right now you're like harnessing more of an aggressive energy. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you're needing to use like this thing says sacred wisdom. And sacred wisdom looks like you going inside of yourself and kind of following your own trail of light. And I don't think you should necessarily involve anyone else on this journey. Just because that's that Avenger energy to where you feel like you have to right wrongs in a way. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but just how are you doing it? Are you doing it under a guise of something else? Like, just, are you being honest with yourself? I'm getting a big disconnect from like what you're saying and what you're doing and what you're wanting to do. It's like you're at like this conflict, you're at conflict with yourself. And so like it's causing your guidance to be shaky, and it's causing you to like go after things that don't matter as much, but you are perceiving them to matter, but they don't matter. And I don't want to say your causes aren't just or anything, but you're just needing to surrender to the divine, and that looks like being passive and waiting for that sacred wisdom to come to you versus you putting it. I mean, I don't want to say don't put in the effort, but sometimes, especially when you're harnessing divine feminine energy, which is the art of surrender, you need to be still like a tree basically, and just allow the wisdom to come to you, because true wisdom, that's how it comes to you. All right, so what are you manifesting? Beautiful. We have 2 of Cups, the World, into a cycle. I was just saying how you keep going round and round and round in the cycle, and the World is the end to all cycles. So that's beautiful, because I was like, am I really getting the right thing there? But no, Spirit is also coming in and, you know, patting me and saying, yeah, it's a cycle that is ending for you. And wow, and then we have Judgment. So that's you coming into this new awareness. And this may be because of a partnership that you are about to enter into, or a divine union with your higher self and ego. So that means an amalgamation or alchemy happening with that. But a cycle is ending for you because of new awareness that you are inviting into your life. And if you really wanted the cycle to end, whatever cycle of deceit and conflict, then you're needing to call in new awareness, and that looks like depending on your higher self only, seeking your higher self only. All right, none is selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to Spirit. And so I feel like with you, especially with you guys, because this is the crystal of divine wisdom and sacred wisdom, you guys especially are being called to really selflessly devote yourself to Spirit, to end whatever cycles you want in your life. And this could not even be like a cycle that causes like conflict. I mean, if you wanted to end it, that it does cause conflict, but like major conflict is what I'm really getting at there. It's not even something that causes major conflict. It just causes you a disconnect within yourself. All right, so just keep that in mind. And then we also have healing. Beautiful. I heard linear healing. So you may need to do some healing within your timeline. Perhaps something happened to you that, and it's at first this root chakra kind of stood out to me. So perhaps you're holding this pattern in your root chakra or your second chakra, your sacral chakra, Swadhisthana. I like have such an accent when I say it, and I try to like not do it because it sounds pretentious, I feel. but yeah, you're really being called to heal patterns and traumas that are in your lineage. That's the word. That is in your lineage. And it is linear healing that is taking place with you, and it's quick healing. With this 8 of Wands, quick communication. This is happening really swiftly at this time, and you are really using your intuition and almost subconsciously as well. And then we do beautiful. We have guide. So you are being guided at this time. You're manifesting better guidance, a higher guidance in your life, and that is because you are kind of shedding the old burdens and connecting more with your higher self. And then we have Saboteur. I don't really know how to pronounce this, but that's the word. Highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. So right now you may be afraid to upgrade because it looks like you're in the land of the unknown, and the moon was present. I did a reading, but I scrapped it because I wasn't feeling it. But the moon was present, and I'm just getting that moon energy to where you're in the land of the unknown right now, and it may be scaring you, but Spirit is saying that you are safe. And as long as you have that connection with your higher self, which you have to cultivate, it does not come. I mean, it can come like intuitively, I believe, but most of the time it requires cultivation because we are so bogged down by like the everyday cares of life, the mundane, the materialistic world around us, that it is hard to have that connection with your higher self at times. And we do have hero/heroine, passion for a journey of personal empowerment. Yes. So you taking the reins and you realizing that you are a manifestor and that you do control at least partially what happens in your life. And so you realizing that you have to work through this fear and kind of self-empower yourself and personally empower yourself. It comes from within, really. So perhaps you also have a low confidence level, a low solar plexus, a low solar plexus chakra, manipura. And so you're really being called to heal all of that at this time. And then we do have health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Beautiful. So that means looks like not going out and social distancing at this time, guys, because you know what's happening. And then we have failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So that's kind of like rolling with the punches. Rolling with the punches. Because you are if you end the cycle, you definitely will be in the land of the unknown, and it will be scary to you, and it will seem like perhaps you are failing at something. And this is Spirit saying it's just an opportunity to learn, basically. And that's all. Doesn't matter what happens. And then we have purification. Beautiful. Right now, you are really being purified in sacred wisdom. And this is because you are seeking. I just heard you're probably going to have an ego death. And that looks like that judgment card coming into new awareness. And then we do have beautiful. Holy shit, guys. Holy shit. Sacred wisdom. Sacred wisdom. So whatever you're doing, you are really going to be tapping into sacred wisdom, because this Atlantean crystal is the crystal of sacred wisdom. So it's beautiful that you caught that card. And I'm just going to end it there because Spirit said everything that needed to be said with that card. So thank you so much for watching, and namaste. Okay, so for pile 3, who chose Shamanic Dream Quartz, the attributes are healing, contemplative, and soothing. And it's good for all crown chakra especially. But crown chakra is all chakras. So just take a look at into this beautiful crystal and calm and soothe your soul, because it's absolutely stunning, right? So we're going to take a look at what needs balancing and what are you manifesting for this moon. Excuse me. So what needs balancing? The Hermit and the Four of Cups in reverse. So I never read cards in reverse, but whenever they come out, I just keep them that way because it came out reversed for a reason. Right now, you are being called to kind of like stop being alone. As crazy as that sounds, I think being alone right now for you is counterintuitive. It's causing like for your boredom and like your apathy and those lower vibrations for you to really be highlighted. So if you're feeling that you are like just kind of like drowning in loneliness, you can always reach out to your higher self, but you can also reach out to me as well. Just make sure you're following me on Instagram and make sure to reach out to me, but even reaching out to people around you, like in your family, like friends, you're just really being called to kind of get out of this lonely energy and out of this boredom energy, because it's kind of dragging your spirit down a lot. I feel like not heavy because it's not my energy and I know that, but I feel like something tugging like on my solar plexus chakra, on my vitality, on my willpower. So at this time, you may just like be laying in bed and doing nothing, just that nothingness energy around you, and you're being called to like halt that. And then we do have patience and soulmate. And so right now, you're like needing to balance out your patience with the situation, because if this card came out, you probably are an impatient person and you probably do like instant results. But at this time, patience is needed, but also you reaching out to others as well and having patience with them with getting back to you being the obvious thing as well. And with the soulmate card, you're needing to like drop this apathetic attitude. I'm just getting like a lot of like, not dreariness, but like just a lot of like boredom, like I'm sorry, I don't have anything to do, like just nothing productive. And you're being called to kind of like light up your own world in a way and kind of bring some vitality back into your world with this soulmate card. I don't think this is a soulmate coming in. Possibly it could be, but for the majority of you, no, not at this time. And even if it is, it requires patience and you kind of like disengaging from that low vibe state and entering into a high vibe state. And then we have Femme Fatale for attributes that need balancing. Highlights the erotic energy of feminine, opens opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. I'm going to read what the book says about that one a little bit more. And what else? Vampire. Makes you aware that someone is draining you. Yeah, that's that energy that I was feeling. Just that drained, like, oh, you know, like. So you're needing to re-energize yourself. And this may be happening because you are alone, or you are caused, or someone else is draining your energy from you. So first, you needing to protect your energy. And I did a post on my Instagram. Follow me at Spiritually Gina on Instagram, and I did a post that directly helps protect your energy today, actually. So that's ironic. Represents highly refined skills at manipulating men, both sexually and financially, without investing personal emotion. Sometimes aids the twist of symbolically killing her contrast. Positive aspect manifests as opening the heart when the male object rejects her manipulations and dependency. So basically, it's looking for a pattern of manipulative behavior. So if anyone in your life is manipulating you, you really need to call them out on their bullshit, basically, at this point, because it's not serving you and it's not serving them for you to keep lying to them. And then we have, what are you manifesting? 7 of Cups, 8 of Swords. So right now, I don't feel like this, I don't want to say the situation is not ending for you anytime soon, but you're still having that heavier energy. 7 of Cups is about needing clarity. So you're manifesting, I guess you're manifesting some clarity, and you're also manifesting yourself moving out of this 8 of Swords energy to where you feel like you are not in control, to where you're going to be in that 9 of Swords energy, to where you see a clear way out, but you just don't want to take it. But it's a clear way out. So just remember to take all the options that you see, basically, or use all of the options that you see, or at least try to imagine options that you see, or at least try to imagine some options up, so you feel like you have options to escape the prison that you're in. And then we do have Fear. Makes total sense. We have Fresh Start. Beautiful. So right now you may be feeling some fear, and that's okay. Spirit is ushering in a new start for you, fresh start for you. And that fresh start comes after you get honest with yourself, and then you take the steps to end what's happening. Because a fresh start denotes an ending of sorts. So something has to end. This fear has to end for this new beginning to take place. And what attributes are you manifesting now? You have Poet. Beautiful. Expresses soul insight through symbolic language. Gossip. Awakens consideration for the feelings of others. Honoring trust. And lastly, Damsel. Understanding the nature of healthy romance. Inspires you to rely on yourself. Right now, I really think that you are cultivating, I just heard divine feminine energy. Damsel and Poet kind of are divine feminine energy, where it's like you're more passive and you're more receiving. So right now, you're being called to receive guidance, and then use that guidance to kind of like unstuck yourself and create a fresh new start for yourself. All right, and then 2 cards of advice. We have Abundance. I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire into this physical reality. And I think that this looks like you're getting clear about the things that you want to invite into your life. And then Forgiveness. Wow, beautiful. We have Forgiveness here as well, on the bottom of the deck, under Communication. You can see. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So it is easy for you to like dislike this person or dislike whatever, because of what you perceive of them to be doing to you. But realize that it's only you doing it to yourself to some degree, by not having that open and honest relationship and not allowing things to flow into your experience, I feel. And then we do have a soul journey. So this is just a journey for you. This is a part of what needed to happen for you to be where you are now. So just, yeah, like I said, it's all about perspective. And I don't think I said that actually, but it's all about perspective. And once you can shift that into like, okay, what is this teaching me? Instead of the victim mentality, then it kind of like takes on a new meaning a little bit. And then we have the Tree of Life. That's you connecting with your roots and firmly opening Muladhara. So perhaps you don't know any chakras or any chakra work. Right now, you're really being called to ground yourself in reality. And grounding yourself in reality looks like having an open root chakra, okay? So just keep that in mind. So thank you so much for watching. If this resonated, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Namaste and happy full moon.